All right, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, city of Tucson. We're back. Another edition of the Fresh Start Show with Dr. Holt. We have Tom Cortez in the building. We have William as well in the studio with us. And we're here to give you another great show in regards to our mission and our fresh start. You know, we are in the recidivism business, not just reentry. We want to reduce the population that is in incarceration. And so we are just thankful for you being with us again on another Saturday morning at 7:30. Keep it locked every Saturday morning at 7:30 on 106 The Groove. We are here to give you the highlights, to give you the real talk, to speak truth to power, to talk about the real issues, but also the solutions on helping our brothers and sisters who have been impacted by being incarcerated, or now the new term we're saying, justice impacted people. We are so excited for our guests being with us on here today, but just keep it locked just to let you know that the Fresh Start Expo will be back on October 18th on a Saturday morning at the TCC. We're looking forward for everybody coming down. A lot of people have been asking when. By now, it's our 5th year. You should know our big expo is in October every year here in Tucson, and we are excited to be able to help our brothers and sisters where we believe that mistakes should only be a life lesson but never a life sentence. And we know that that is what's going on in our penal system across our country. We have over 100,000 former incarcerated people that cannot vote just because of the fact that they're disenfranchised by a felony. Once you complete your sentence, you would think that the felony will stop following justice impacted people. But the tragedy of the matter is you're still given a life sentence, even though that they're not convicted of a life sentence, because it follows you for the rest of your life. And so this is the reason why we are in this type of business and this type of work. Yes, this type of business. I said it again. Yes, it is a business. Yes, prison is a multi-billion-dollar industry. I'm going to say that again. It's a billion-dollar industry, not million with a B, a billion-dollar industry. There's also something called private prisons where investors are making a fortune off the backs of people being incarcerated. So let me tell you, we got to speak truth to power. This is why our platform is here. It's not just to put on events. It is to speak truth to power. It is to be the prophet of the city, to tell what issues that are impacting many areas in our community. So keep it locked. So always remember that's coming up in our fundraiser. Yes, we'll be doing a fundraiser in September. We're looking for all of our we was getting someday. Did we get our dates for that?
Yeah, September 20th. We're going to do a brunch from 11:30.
September 20th?
Yeah. We're going to do a brunch from 11:30 to 1.
All right. So September 20th, we're doing a brunch. You heard it. We want all of our partners that believe in Fresh Start, that's been working with us. We need you at the table, and we need you, and we need your money. So we're not even going to be playing games with you, because it takes money, right, to make an impact. Bro. And I'm just going to be straight up, right? Grandmama said closed mouths don't get fed.
That's right.
So we going to make it plain. The Bible says you have not because you ask not.
That's
so
right.
I'm just going to go ahead and ask,
Amen,
right?
brother.
If you ask, you shall receive. So no, I'm asking.
Amen.
I am straight up asking. We spend money at Starbucks on frivolous stuff. Cut coffee, you don't even drink all of it. You drink about a quarter of the coffee that costs you $8, and you put it in the trash. So don't tell me that you don't have no money. You got some money. So let's put our money where our mouth is to make an impact in our city. Final thing I would say, if I turn over the time for our guest today, is that Fresh Start is impacting recidivism and we have the ultimate one-stop shop. That ultimate one-stop shop, believe it or not, is the reason why you have less crime in your community. Because we're shifting mindsets.
Right.
It's not just about hiring 1,000 police officers and putting them into the trenches of the community, but on the back end, you got to shift criminals' mindsets to not
That's
ever
right.
want to go back to prison. There is something called institutionalized minds. And so we're shifting those mindsets by the work that we're doing. You got less carjacking because of what Fresh Start does. You have a less homicides because of what Fresh Start. It's a matter of public safety. Our work is a matter of public safety. It's not just about giving people with felony records a job and housing. Those things are very important, but you need a functional mind to be able to do anything. And surely we know trauma impacts people who have been in prison. And so let's get our minds right. Let's do what we need to do. Keep it in your back of your head, front of your head, that our expo soon coming. Our fundraiser will be here. We're gonna have it at St. Andrew's Presbyterian Church in Tucson, Arizona. Nice brunch starting at 11:30. So we need you to be getting tables. We need you to be sending in some money so that we can be able to help our community. All right, we'll turn it over to our co-host. Tom Cortez is in the building, and we have a special guest today, and I'm really excited to hear from him.
Well, we keep hearing from people that welcome everybody. Good morning, everyone. 106.3 The Groove. We're always hearing from people that we should take both sides, that we shouldn't just be one line. So we had Adelita Grijalva on the show. She's running for the 7th Congressional District. And now we're going to bring Daniel Gutierrez on the show. And he's running for the 7th Congressional District. And he is the Republican candidate. But here's the thing. I was intrigued by the whole thing because Daniel has a past and Daniel has a history, and Daniel has overcome that history to move past it when part of that history was not even his fault. His sentence was vacated, and so he went through a whole lot of changes. He went through a whole lot of traumas, and now all of the stuff that I have read about Daniel and all of the conversations I have had with Daniel, he has an extraordinary heart for the homeless. He has an extraordinary heart for those who are addicted. He has he has an open heart for people that you don't necessarily often see in a Republican candidate, because historically we know that they have not been very friendly to restorative justice or transformative justice. And I'm here to tell you, Daniel, and speaking to Daniel, he's been there. He knows what it's like. He knows how he was treated. He knows how his brothers and sisters have been treated in prison. And he knows how difficult it is once you leave having that stigma, the life sentence that Dr. Holt is talking about. Daniel, I'm going to ask you to bring it in, introduce yourself, tell everybody what you're running for and what you feel.
All right. Well, I'm running for United States Congress, and I'll probably be running against Adelita. We're the hometown boy and girl. We've had different walks through life, and I was actually absolutely intrigued by what the doc said about how it's a $1 billion industry. Okay, my family were all miners, and when the price of copper dropped, everyone was worried. My dad was laid off, everybody was getting laid off, and it was our bread and butter here in Arizona. The Fed stepped in and said, hey, we got a new industry. Well, the miners became prison guards, and they started building prisons everywhere.
Wow.
So you were absolutely right. See, I was born and raised here. My family's been here since the 1800s, so I know a lot about the history of Arizona, which is another reason I decided to run. But the big reason I decided to run is because I know I'm the guy to help these situations. I know it because I've overcome all these situations that you mentioned, Tom, is that I have been through them.
Yeah.
I've overcome them. The emotion you go through when you're dealing with all these things is tough, and I know how hard it is for someone to walk out of that environment and try and build a life. I know how hard it is for the homeless to decide to get their lives together. It's just it's an impossibility when you're there. Okay, prison has been a curse and a blessing. It's taken me to that spot. And it's also taken me out of that spot. So you had asked me just a minute ago how I overcame all that trauma. Well, it wasn't easy because it led me, and as you said, we're probably on the same yard there at one time.
Yeah.
I left that to find out that everything I knew out here was gone.
Yeah.
So, and that's the trauma that we all have to deal with.
Yeah.
And then struggling, trying to build your life back again when nobody wants to help you. that's a hard thing to overcome.
Mm.
I was very blessed in that aspect because my Uncle Melvin gave me a job painting, so I returned back to painting, and I did that for quite a while, and then I wound up, falling back because of the trauma I was dealing with. I didn't care if I lived or died.
Right.
It just, life wasn't the same anymore.
Right. You lost your kids, you lost your wife, you lost everything by going to prison, and that was the sentence that was vacated. Then on your second conviction, they enhanced the sentence because of the one was a prior, which had not been vacated as of yet. So that was an enhanced sentence to do 3 years where you would have gotten probation.
Right.
And people constantly are bringing this up in the race, and I just want to clarify the issue for you. We have all had some troubles in our past. It's what we do with that and where we move from that.
No doubt.
It's just really courageous and crazy, maybe, for somebody with our past to come out and go into a political office, because everybody's going to dig into it. Everybody's going to look at everything you've ever done, and they're going to bring it up. And in every debate that I've seen, it's been brought up.
I salute you for doing it. And I think that there's just time for a real change. If the president can be a felon and get convicted to the highest office, then surely you got a fighting chance. The game has shifted. It's really about how you feel about yourself and how you build your campaign and tell your story and be very authentic, as real as possible. And you touch a lot of people. Believe it or not, a lot of times when politicians run, their flawless history doesn't relate to a lot of people. I'm just being honest.
Right.
Exactly.
So you really got to put a lot of mayonnaise on it to make it desirable. But when people hear about your flaws, you relate to a lot of people. You relate to a lot of people. You connect with a lot of people, and you give hope, to other people. And people who are incarcerated need to know that it's not over because you made some bad choices. And I want to speak into the space, just talking about the mental health piece and the trauma piece, is that it's very traumatized to have been incarcerated. But I think what you've also experienced, not only trauma, you experience a lot of grief. And we don't get to grieve in incarceration because you have to dissociate your feelings just to survive being in a cell.
You don't want to be perceived as weak.
Yeah, exactly. You have to shut down, and so by the time you get out, you realize I didn't really even grieve what I lost. You lost freedom, but you didn't lose family. You lost marriage. You didn't lose that. You miss kids graduating. You miss kids having those early stages that father's supposed to do, and you're supposed to grieve. Right?
Yeah.
We don't get to that place. I always say, if you don't heal from your trauma, you bleed on people that didn't cut you.
Right.
We just hemorrhage on people.
Yeah.
And so I just think there's just a season, that we began to hemorrhage. So I salute, what you're doing. I'm Christian first, and I'm American first before I'm a political affiliation. And I don't just vote strictly Democrat and be blue just because. I look at your policies, I look at who you are, and if it reflects my mission and my core values, I'm behind it. So I'm very public to say that I do not go to the voters box and just go D, 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 D. You may have a D, a couple R's, D, and some I's, and some D's.
Yeah.
Because it's about voting for and being in alignment with our conviction. And so it's my prayer, that if you are blessed to get into this office, I just want to highlight the remarkable level of resilience. To be able to take some lickings and keep on ticking is just amazing to me. So I just really thank you for what you're trying to do.
Well, the individuals that have been attacking me, or the one, I told him we did a forum, and I said, listen, it was after when the last one ended, where he came at and just attacked me hard on my priors and that I'd been to prison and all that.
Yeah.
The next one, I started out and I said, let me tell you something. There's some people here that want to keep throwing stuff at me. Yeah. And when I stepped into this race, I didn't hide anything.
Yeah.
I took my armor off. I stepped out here so it doesn't matter what you throw at me. I've already told everyone about it.
Yeah.
And what you're not understanding, it's not my weakness, it's my strength.
Yeah.
And it's what you said.
Yeah.
I connect with everybody.
Yeah.
a politician running trying to pretend, and they're pretending
That's
because
right.
there's only one Jesus
That's
Christ.
right.
So they're all pretending.
Pretending.
Yeah,
Come
they're all pretending to be this perfect
Right,
person and
right,
hiding whatever it is they're hiding.
Right. You saving a lot of FBI checks. I'm coming all out with it. Save your background check money.
It's the truth. I laid it all out there.
You don't even need the CIA, the Secret Service. You don't need none of that. I'm just gonna come on out with it for free. I've been a bad man,
And that takes
but that's all
courage,
right.
bro.
Yes, it does.
It
Yes,
takes
does.
courage because you know they're going to come, and they're going to come on live TV.
But
Yeah.
this is the thing. Many people have done some of the same things. They just didn't get caught when they hand in the cookie jar.
That's right.
Because if they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar, they probably had worse charges than you. So I don't even let people
Yeah.
judge.
And that there, Dr. Holt, is, I have a couple of questions if you don't mind asking.
Absolutely.
I was just at one of the benefits you guys did the other day
Our America Breakfast.
at American Breakfast, yes, by Paul.
Paul Parisi.
Yeah, Paul Parisi. And
Yeah.
I really give kudos to him. But I have two questions. The first question is, if given the opportunity to reside in that spot,
Yes, sir.
what would you do for the low development community as well as the disproportionate people? And the second question is, what have you done to change your position for a political stance?
I'm trying to think about what have I done different. I really haven't done anything different. I just stepped it because, well, I still run in two companies. And what my big passion is, I come from South Tucson. I lived in South Tucson.
Okay.
South Tucson has been what you say, poor and poverty for decades. It has not changed. No one's done anything for it. Most of the people in South Tucson are fed up with it because no one does anything for them. And I just got done doing a church on 12th Avenue. I brought 12 businesses together. We did $30,000 worth of work on the church on 12th Avenue over by Delicious. I've been bringing the Republicans to the South Side, which Republicans never go out and reach out to the South Side.
Wow.
They're there all the time now. They're
Yeah, they
having,
want to go to the foothills.
yeah, they want to go to the foothills. I said, what?
They live north of the river.
I said the reason the South Side is the way it is, and it's
Yes.
80% Democrat, is
Yeah.
because none of you go talk to them. They're
Yeah.
they're conservatives.
Yeah.
Everyone on South Tucson is conservative.
Wow.
They may not be Republican. They may not be, they're registered Democrat, but in all reality, they are conservatives. They believe in God, family, country, and the Constitution of the United States. They believe in these things. And that's where the common ground comes. So the Republicans have been over in the South Tucson because I took them there. I painted a church. I'm presently trying to do John Valenzuela's Youth Center in South Tucson. Okay. Tucson Coatings has told me they'll donate the roof coating because they got a leak on their roof, and I'm personally do the work just like I sprayed the church. Sherwin-Williams gave all the paint to paint the church.
Wow.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Don Edwards is going to donate all the paint to paint John Valenzuela's Youth Center, but it's political. Now it's not Buteris for Congress that's going to paint John Valenzuela and do the roof coating. It's Buteris Painting.
Yeah.
That's donating to go do and they don't want me to go there because I'm a Republican. So these kids can't have the John Valenzuela Youth Center taken care of because the Democrats don't want a Republican to go in and do this.
Such divisiveness
And
Political
and
stance.
everything. Yeah.
and so South Tucson, not only has the politicians done nothing for South Tucson, and my family's all in South Tucson, so when I speak of this, it's with my heart.
Yeah.
Okay? They haven't done anything, and now these same politicians won't even let a contractor go in and do it for free. That's where we are with politics, and I'm just running for everybody. I'm running to represent Democrats, independents, Republicans, everyone, because I don't care about the politics. I care about my community, and that's why I'm running to help the homeless. I do it now. I hire the homeless. As a matter of fact, we do college turns every summer, and at that time, I need lots of people. The easiest ones to get are the homeless. To give them a chance. If they're willing to stop using, come and get a paycheck, I'll give them a job. I don't care. I'll even help them with tools and everything, because I'm not about, if I were all about me, I'd already be a millionaire. I'm not.
You're right.
I rescue horses out in Marana because I care about animals.
You got six?
I had 5. Beauty died. She was like 30-something years old. I have a backhoe out of my property in Marana, and we had to bury Beauty. But I have 4 left, and I've had them for years. And all I do is feed them. I don't even ride them. They're my babies, and this is who I am. I'm not in this for money. I could care less about money. I want to help my community, and that's why I ran. That's the only reason I ran. Never wanted to be a politician. I just know that no one else is going to fix it.
Nice. Well, I tell you what, we got about 4 minutes left. What do you want Tucson to know about why should they vote for Daniel? What is it about you that stands out that's going to make a difference? Because people are burnt out even with politics, and the approval rating in Congress is just like blah, right? So how are you going to stand out of all of your hundreds of colleagues in Congress? What is it? Why should Tucsonians think about you and prefer you as far as voting and getting you into that seat?
That's a simple question, simple answer. Everyone else is running on, we hate Trump, we're going to fight Trump, we're going to stop Trump. So if we elect someone that's running on that platform, simple question, what are they going to do for Arizona in the next 3 years? Because Trump's going to be there for the next 3 years.
Right. Told
the mayor of Nogales, Maldonado, I said, wouldn't you rather have someone in there whose family's been here since the 1800s, whose roots are deep, who loves this state, loves the people of this state, in there working with the administration to bring jobs and resources back to Arizona? Someone like me, if Trump were to do something or was going to do something that would hurt Arizona, don't you think I'd stand up and say, wait, Mr. President, this will hurt my state? Who do you think he's going to listen to first, the one fighting with him or the one that's working with him?
Yeah.
That's why I'm the best man for the job.
Wow. Well, we most definitely thank you for your passion and
Absolutely.
going for a Congress seat, and where our prayers is the Scripture says we are to pray for those in authority that we may live peaceable lives. And Paul wasn't talking about whether you're conservative or liberal.
Yeah.
It was as if you're in the political authority, you need a lot of prayers. You need a lot of prayers to just pierce through all the bureaucracy and all the craziness that's going on, but. We most definitely thank you for coming. We want to make sure we are fair. If we're going to have a Democrat candidate come, we also most definitely want to have a Republican come and talk about the other side.
Absolutely.
So our prayers is with you, and Godspeed to you. Thank you for your remarkable story of resilience. And let's continue to keep on having these very, very important discussions.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. All right, Tom. So what's going on in the neighborhood?
Man, what's going on? We got the Rally for Reentry, which is July 23rd. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to noon. It's going to be at the Amethyst Room at Pima Community College. And I just got the speaking lineup, and our own William Bryant is going to be one of the speakers at that. And our co-host, Tom Cortese, is also going to be speaking.
My man.
And they are both going to speak on restoration at the event. The Second Chance event is going to be August 7th, which is going to have resources, jobs, behavioral health, all of that stuff at the convention center from 1 to 4 in the afternoon. And Fresh Start is giving out haircut coupons prior to the event so you can get cleaned up and ready for your interview before the event. So we'll give you a location to do that and come back with us on that. Frederick, we are getting your letters, and we understand about the prison programming in the federal institution and the Bureau of Prisons and the lockdowns that you have gone through. We are working on it diligently. Fresh Start has just entered the Bureau of Prisons, the Dismissed Charities Halfway House, where we will be able to start doing programs there, and Dr. Holt is going to be invited in to do a trauma workshop for those that are being released. And thank God for that. And we are moving forward into the Kansas prison, into the Bureau of Prisons, And we are moving Fresh Start forward in a way that is going to be international in no time.
All right, you heard it. You heard it. So let's get into our movement of bringing healing into our incarcerated spaces, and we know that, everything is going to be all right. So, again, thank you again for being with us on the Fresh Start Show on Saturday mornings at 7:30 on 106 The Groove. Let's continue to keep pressing on and have a great weekend. Fresh Start.